Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. And for today's moneymaker, I'm actually going to be doing a moneymaker that was suggested to me by someone in game. If you want to suggest moneymakers to me and you want me to put them through the rating system, then by all means message me in game. My private's always on, or you can just put a comment down on this video and I will check out your moneymaker. The moneymaker that was suggested to me was collecting Zamarok wines but also high Alching at the same time. It's quite an interesting one because both the moneymakers are pretty good in free-to-play, so doing them both at the same time would make a meta moneymaker. A quick overview of the rating system. I rate it 1 to 10 on the profit made in the hour, 1 to 10 on the click intensity, so how painful my hand gets within the hour, 1 to 10 on the requirements, so what levels you need for this moneymaker, all the quests, all that stuff. And then finally, I rate it 1 to 10 on how good I think this moneymaker is. Okay, so for the setup, you're gonna need some of Zamarokian robes, the top and the bottom. And then we've got a amulet of defense and just a shield, one of the best shields you can wear, just for some defense for when the monks attack you. And then I've got a fire staff. And then for the inventory, you're going to need at least 250 lore runes, 300 air runes, 500 nature runes to cast your alks. We've got 10 water runes just to teleport back to Falador. You need some alk items. What I've got here are adamant plate bodies. If you're struggling to get alk items in free-to-play, there is a clan called World 308 Anvil. I've mentioned them before in previous videos, and they supply bulk alks for you to buy in free-to-play. For the food, I decided to use jugs of wine because they're really cheap. You need at least 40 jugs of wine for the hour. And then we've also got wizard mine bombs. What they do is they bring your magic level up by 2 or 3 depending on what magic level you've got. And that is to combat the decrease in magic level every time we take a wine from the downstairs area at the altar. There are some level requirements for this one. You're going to need at least 500 skill total in free-to-play. You're going to need at least 66 magic, but the higher the better. 66 is the perfect level to get a full inventory of wines. And also, if you've got 43 prayer, it's not a must, but if you've got 43 prayer, then that's good, because then you can use protection prayers against the monks. And also, if you've got 57 woodcutting, that is good because that will help us to get to Ferox Enclave, but we'll get to that later in the video. If you're struggling to get some wizard mine bombs from the Grand Exchange, they do sell for a pretty high price, a lot higher than what the Grand Exchange says they're selling for. You can get them from Falador Pub for 3 GP each, but the problem with this is that you have to buy one at a time. So to get to the altar, what we're going to do is teleport to Falador, and then we're going to run north until we get to the altar. And basically from here, I'm going to telegrab the wine downstairs, climb up the ladder as quickly as possible, and then telegrab the wine upstairs. The reason why we need the Zamarokian robes and the 500 skill total is to climb up this ladder. Whilst I'm waiting for the wines to respawn, I'm going to high alk in between, and I'm going to do this for the next hour and we will see how much money we make. Okay, so I found there's a lot of people trying to grab the wine upstairs, which has been quite annoying. But there's not many people grabbing the wine downstairs, so I must be missing something here. But I'm getting quite lucky on getting the wines. Normally, I do beat the people that are upstairs, so I think I've just got better ping than them. Also, I found that bringing jugs of wine and then picking up jugs of wine is quite annoying because you can't tell which ones you can drink and which ones you can't. But I've done a couple of runs now and it looks like my defense, attack and strength level are pretty low. So what I'm going to do is go to Ferox Enclave to restore all my stats. This is probably the quickest way to do it. You can suicide obviously and then come back, but I think Ferox Enclave is quicker. So to get to Ferox Enclave, what we're going to do is teleport to Varrock instead of teleporting to Falador. And then we're going to run next to the Grand Exchange to the west, and there is a canoe. This is why you need the level 57 woodcutting, because you need to make the Waka canoe, which requires 57 woodcutting. If you don't use this canoe, then you might not make it to Ferox Enclave, and you might just be in the middle of the wilderness with all this money on you, so you don't want that. This is not necessary to do this moneymaker, but it helps a lot because you can restore all your stats back to full, and then you can just teleport to Falador and carry on doing the wine runs. To restore all your stats back to full once you're at Ferox Enclave, what you want to do is go to these pools, and then you're going to drink from the pool and you will have all your stats restored. So I'm just going to teleport back to Falador and carry on grabbing these wines. Okay, so about halfway through, I'm getting into a good rhythm. I've kind of lined it up so I can always beat I don't know if they're bots, but I can always beat the people upstairs. So I'm getting full inventories pretty quick, and in between each cast of the telekinetic grab, I can do like 5 to 6 high alks. So we're getting through quite a few high alks as well. What I'm probably going to do is bring you guys back once I've finished. Right, so that's the hour up. I've just teleported to Varrock. I'm just going to go to the Grand Exchange and I'll see how many wines of Zamrock we've got, and I'll also calculate how much money I've made from high alching for the past hour. So in total we used 182 lore runes, and we used 206 air runes. We used 8 water runes over the hour, and then we used the full amount of the 60 wizard mine bombs, and I also used 40 jugs of wine. In total we got 144 Zammy wines, which is pretty good. It equates to 183k. And then over the hour, I did 494 alks, which isn't too bad. It's about half of what you would do if you were just sat alking anyway. So that equates to about 82k profit when I'm using adamant plates. So in total, we made 265k over the hour, which is pretty nice. Almost one of the best money makers you can do in free-to-play. You can increase this profit to 300k an hour if you've got enough money to buy rune two-handers. Rune two-handers are usually the best item to buy in bulk for alching. Now the current nat price for this video was 218, so that might go up and down, so the profit per hour might go up and down as well. And the amount of magic experience we got for the hour was 41.2k, which isn't actually too bad in free-to-play. Obviously you'll get more magic experience if you just high alk, but we're not doing this for the experience, we're doing it for the money. So for the rating system, I've given profit a 9 out of 10. 300k per hour is actually one of the best money makers in free-to-play. The only way really you can make better money is if you're really good at PKing, or if you can make rune two-handers, or if you can mine runite ore. All of those have pretty high requirements, so that's why I've given it a 9 out of 10. For click intensity, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It was pretty click intensive, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world, so that's why I've given it a 5 out of 10. For requirements, there are some pretty high requirements on this list. I mean, 500 skill total and 66 magic in free-to-play is a pretty tall order, so that's why I've given it a 4 out of 10 for requirements. And so overall, for the collecting Zamrock wines and high alching at the same time, I'm going to give it a 8 out of 10. If you find yourself high alching and you're a little bit bored, then you can always do this method to make a little bit of extra moolah. And by doing this method, you're probably going to make some of the best money you can in free-to-play. So that's it from me for another moneymaker that I've rated. Like I said at the start of the video, if you want to suggest any moneymakers you think are pretty good, or you just want to find out if a moneymaker is good or not, then suggest one to me in-game or in a comment. If you've made it this far into the video, then well done. It'd really help if you left the video a like. And also, if you're not subscribed yet, then please subscribe. I'm going to bring out a lot more content. I'm also working on a series that will hopefully last a long time, and that series is going to be focused around making money, so you don't want to miss that one. And that's it from me, so hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video.